The world's biggest tournament is coming, and the official FIFA World Cup 26 Try-Under competition ball is here at the Goal 90 shop. Designed for the game's biggest stage, it's built for precision, speed and control. Right now, you can make it yours with 30% off plus free shipping. Don't just watch the World Cup, own a piece of it. Visit goal90.shop today and order now. Liverpool started the season pretty well. After losing the Community Shield game to Crystal Palace, they then went on a 7-game winning streak in all competitions, a run which included games against Arsenal, Atlético Madrid, Newcastle and the Merseyside derby against Everton. But then they met Crystal Palace again, this time in the Premier League, and that was where everything began to go south. They have now gone on to lose 4 games on the bounce, which has seen them go from 1st to 4th on the Premier League table in only a matter of weeks. It's quite obvious that all isn't well with Liverpool right now and that things need to begin to change quickly, but you can trace all of this back to a few decisions which were made by the coach over the last year or so. What are these decisions? We'll find out in this video today. These are 5 big decisions that have finally caught up to Arne Slot. The first one is letting Luis Diaz go. We spoke about this in detail in a recent video. Liverpool letting go of the Colombian attacker without an adequate replacement set the project back a few years. This is a player with passion, drive, skill, strength, a high work rate, good technical floor, and an impressive ball-carrying ability. Every top team needs a player like this, and if Liverpool were going to lose him, they needed to replace him with a similar profile. You know, that Sadio Mane type of player. But they didn't, and that has affected them so much. On one hand, there's no exact deputy for Gakpo on the left wing, and then Diaz's absence has really weakened Liverpool's entire pressing structure, making it much easier for opponents to play through them, as opposed to last season. Another decision that appears to have caught up with Slot is Liverpool's insistence on signing Alexander Isak. At the beginning of the summer window, Liverpool were interested in Isak, but it felt like he would stay at Newcastle for another season. The Magpies insisted that they weren't going to sell, so Liverpool cleverly went and signed Hugo Ekitike, who was being linked with Newcastle at the time. Having spent €95 million to sign the Frenchman, everyone thought the Isak chapter was closed. And Ekitike hit the ground running too. He scored on his Liverpool debut, scored on his Premier League debut, scored on his domestic cup debut. He just kept scoring. 4 games into his Liverpool career, Ekitike was already directly involved in 4 goals. And it wasn't just about the numbers, he was playing very confidently, associatively and maturely. He looked like he could and was ready to lead the Liverpool attack for years to come. Liverpool certainly didn't need to sign another big money striker. Just get a decent backup striker, get a Diaz replacement, and you'd be good. But no, they insisted on getting Isak because they wanted that big name so badly. They ended up breaking the bank for him on deadline day and making him the most expensive signing in Premier League history, but many fans could instantly tell that it was a mistake. Having 2 big money strikers only gives the coach an unnecessary selection headache, and the fact that Slot has refused to employ any of them on the wing makes his job even harder. Now, Isak has failed to find the back of the net in his first 4 Premier League games and first 2 Champions League games for Liverpool. But it's not just about the lack of goals, it's also the fact that he still doesn't seem like he has found himself just yet in the red of Liverpool. It was just a very unnecessary signing. Surely there are much better ways they could have spent the €145 million. That right there was a very costly decision. Now, if you think these 2 decisions were costly, just wait till you hear the next one. But before we get to that, if you aren't yet subscribed to the channel, go do that right away so you never miss out on our amazing content. So now, back to the video. One decision Slot and Liverpool made that has now proven to be costly is adopting the Galactico philosophy. There's just no evidence of it actually yielding results in history. Real Madrid built 2 different Galactico teams in the early 2000s and late 2000s, and they both failed, or at best, under-delivered. PSG also went this route a few years back when they lined up Messi, Neymar, Mbappe, Ramos, Donnarumma, Wijnaldum and other big names. But that too wasn't much of a success. Even AC Milan did this in the 2008 to 2009 season when they assembled Ronaldinho, Beckham, Kaká, Pirlo, Maldini, Shevchenko and Pato. But it didn't work. They finished 3rd in the league and got knocked out in the round of 32 of the Europa League. Basically, history has shown us multiple times that assembling a team of superstar players hardly ever yields desired results. You benefit a lot more from building a balanced and cohesive team than purchasing all the available big names in the market. Well, Liverpool didn't heed, and it seems to be catching up to them now. You know what else is catching up to them? The fact that Arne made so many changes to his title-winning team. The famous saying goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But Slot didn't seem to understand that. He appears to have done a lot of fixing to a team that comfortably won the Premier League just a couple months back. Trent left, and like we already said earlier, Diaz was sold. Those were already enough changes. But Slot made more. He moved Szoboszlai out of the 10 role to accommodate Wirtz, changed the striker, and changed the left back. And it's not only personnel changes we're talking about, he has also made mental, stylistic and tactical changes. Liverpool are now approaching games much differently than they did last season. A lot of times we saw Liverpool sit back and let the opponents come to them, but this season it looks like Slot is feeling the pressure of being the Premier League champions, so it's like he feels like he needs to always control the game and have more of the ball. That has been their undoing a lot of times. You won the league playing a particular way, why not just stick with it? Also, the team is just not pressing as well as they did last season. Obviously, that is a combination of a change of personnel and a change of tactics, but of course, the buck stops at the manager's desk, so he has to take full responsibility for that. He'll also have to take responsibility for not signing a proper Salah deputy. Now, we're by no means suggesting that Salah should have been relegated to the bench this season. No way, surely not after the record-breaking season he just had. But the management should have had the foresight to recognise that Salah is ageing and he can't do this forever, so they should have started to prepare for life after the 33-year-old. And it's not only about the future. If they really wanted the very best from him this season, they should have signed a proper understudy who would help manage Salah's minutes and keep him fresh for the biggest games, but they didn't do that. Instead, they went and splurged nearly €250 million on centre forwards. Now that Salah has started the season in underwhelming fashion, they are clueless on the right. If you take him off, who would you bring on? Frimpong or Chiesa? That's it. And no disrespect to them, but as right wingers, those two are massive downgrades from Salah. And don't forget, there's AFCON this season, and this time it starts in December. And remember, December is always the busiest time of the year in the Premier League. During this period, Liverpool will be without Salah, and the fact that they failed to sign a proper Salah deputy means that they may really suffer on the right wing for a few games, so things could still get worse than they are right now. But do you think things will actually get worse for Liverpool? What would you say is the reason behind the rough spell the Reds are currently going through? Do you think they can still turn this situation around to get back to the title race and maybe win a trophy this season? What do you think they need to do to turn the season around? Get in the comments and talk to us. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Also, turn on the bell notifications so you never miss out on new content. Catch you in the next one. Bye.